Page 43, theme from Third Symphony, Third Movement by Brahms. Beautiful melody. I encourage you to go listen to the whole symphony. Brahms Symphony, Opus 90. Search it out and listen to it. 3/4 time, 3 flats in the key signature to start. So it's either E flat major or C minor. I think it's C minor. But it changes key signatures in the middle. As you see the third line down in the middle, the 3 natural signs there toward the end. So they're taking away the 3 flats in the key signature, and now it's in C major. They're in parallel to each other. C major and C minor are parallel. They're not the same key signature. They start on the same note. If they had the same key signature, they would be relative, related by key signature. I've been confused about that ever since I first learned about it. Right hand first, let's get this rhythm. We got a lot of dotted rhythms, and I suggest on the dotted rhythms, for the most part, you simply remember, keep the 16th note short. Don't turn it into a triplet. So we're at the beginning, we're coming in on beat 3. So 3 and 1. Just 3 and 1. 3 E and a 3 E and a 1, 2, 3, 1. Just keep it short and you'll be okay. Because if you turn it into a triplet, 3, triplet, it kind of rocks it. Da 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 da, and that's what we need to avoid. These short notes got to be short. Make sure that these. You reach up 5th finger. Remember, we have a B flat, an E flat, and an A flat. Those are the 3 flats. 2, 2. Second line, third measure. 1 and 2 and 3. Those 2 16th notes are in the and at 2. 1 and 2 and 3. And 1 and 2 and 3. Little finger. Now you get a triplet. Going on. 4th finger. Now the 3 flats went away. Now if they want a flat, they got to give you an accidental, which they do. 1, so it's 3, 1, and 2. So it's 3. It's tied to beat 1. 3 and 1 and 2. I recommend on the 4th line down for the E, use thumb. This makes it easier to reach the high E an octave higher. And because of the phrasing, you'll be able to lift up and get the 4th finger on it. Remember, there's no sharps or flats on this, and again, in the 3rd measure, I recommend thumb on that, because you want the 4th finger on the C, it's easier to reach it. Then on the 3rd measure over, use thumb on that C. This makes it easier to reach the G with 4th finger. I mean, you can reach up, but that's a stretch. I mean, why bother? Little finger, we have a sequence going down. Now last line. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 3rd finger on the. Just lift up and come down. That's okay. We can get away with this part here. I'll explain a little more why a little later, but you can do it. Left hand has the broken chords. We start out in C minor chord, the 1 chord, and then the 4 chord. If it just doesn't work for you, you can do that. Whichever. 2nd line, B natural. I use 4th finger then because I need the A flat coming up. Now this is the 2nd line down, 4th measure. Look, they want this. This is rather awkward. Again, this isn't piano music. This is an orchestra that's done that. But however however you want to finger that. I can do here to here and here. I can stretch it. I don't like doing the here. I don't like that move. So I would rather do this than this. So I'm going to do it here. I'm going to do a 2, 1. 5, 3. 5, 1. Throughout black keys you can do this. And then here. And then slide off. Now if you can reach it, you can do a 4. But you can also slide off. You just have to time it right. Then going on now, the flats went away. But the notes are about the same, aren't they? And lift up. The last two measures at the bottom, F sharp. Rest. Put the heads together. Slowly. And again, I'm connecting everything now. I'll do all these slurs and phrases later. Hesitations, fine, don't worry about it. We're just trying to get the notes to work together. And this is tricky here. The last part, the last couple measures of the second line, it's where you're here, here, and then come up here, here, fifth finger on the G. They're saying one. Work out these, just work on these measures until you work out, get it to flow. Probably should start with the third measure of the second line because that's got that trick. Just work that out really slow and careful, and then going on. Let's go after the key change there. Remember, all the flats went away. The only flats we end up with are what's written in the music itself. So, never mind what it sounds like. This is what. Sequence going down. Then this. Lift this up when you play the F. See, I lift up here when I play the A because I got to get down here. I just give myself an eighth rest in there. And then you go back to the top because you get the 3 flats back at the bottom. And that's because the D, C, Al fine, that sends you back to the top. It's 3 flats. They're telling you, by the way, 3 flats are coming. And you can do that, then we can add these slurs, the phrasing. For the left hand, I suggest you connect it as best you can. And the right hand, lift up. It's like taking a breath. Now this lifting up, by the way, is just a small motion. Don't get carried away with it. So you lift up on each of these. In the left hand, can you keep it down at the same time? Lift up. Anyway, I don't want to play it all for you, but you get the idea. You're lifting up for the phrases, but keep the left hand connected if you can. Except for the rest, of course. And then the dynamics, that's the melody, which is in the right hand. Whatever you think moderately soft is, that left hand needs to be very soft. And you're staying there until the last part of the second line where you start crescendoing there in the third measure. Crescendo, loud right then this third line you're going to start going back down, and you're going back down. You're on your way back down to soft. So you're about the third line. You're going to start that loud. Now it come down to moderately loud to moderately soft, and then going on your soft. Moderately soft, little moderately loud. Go down to soft. Up to there. Go up to here. So it's here. Go back to soft. Retard onto at the end. And you're soft. Because now we go up to the top, now you're up to moderately soft again, but you're soft at the bottom. Like so. Speed-wise, well, they give you some metronome ideas, and you can listen to the orchestras play it. About as fast as I've been playing it, I think, is fine. So it's not fast. They say espressivo is expressively, that's not a speed, but get into it so you can feel it. Feel it and get into it that way. And then once you have a handle on fingers and everything working right, then we can add the pedal. But we have to be careful because we can smear this up and we don't want to. But it's an orchestra piece. We want it to sound more like an orchestra playing it. So we need lots of overtones, and the pedal will allow us to do that. I don't agree with the pedaling. I never do, it seems like. But let's take a look. If I pedal it the way it's shown, this is what it sounds like. It covers up the phrasing, it covers up a lot of stuff. I disagree with the pedaling completely. So at the beginning, go ahead and pedal. When there's not a lot going on in the right hand moving notes, you can pedal for the overtone. Here, lift it up. This part I agree with. But I don't agree in the second measure. Don't pedal that. I want to hear the silence in the right hand. Third measure, you can pedal that measure, but don't pedal the last measure, the first line, don't pedal that. And I wouldn't pedal any of this in the second line until you get over toward the end of the line. So the first of it. You can start pedaling with each beat because we're gonna get loud. We want the overtones, the intensity. We're building up here, so the last two measures there is okay. But then in the second measure, you can let the pedal go because you're coming back down. You don't need the intensity. Pedal any of that in the last two lines or so. I see no reason to pedal any of that. That's because this is a different feel than the first couple of lines or so. There's contrast, simple. So I don't pedal any of this. Forth, and that's my impression of the pedaling. You have to listen carefully to the effect the pedal has to the sound. When you use it, when you don't use it, experiment back and forth and be rather critical with it. So to me, it sounds like this. play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'll try and pedal it as I suggested. I'm not going to do any dynamics. But we will do the DC al fine thing too. So I'll give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. If you have to, just play one hand at a time with me for a bit. Ready, go. 1.